Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Santacruz silver mining. This was a stock analysis request and I just wanted to remind you all that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now, in the case of this chart, we are tracking the uptrend from the all-time low. And in this case, we could count this movement to the upside either as a singular wave 1, but that would be within a leading diagonal that would be building in a larger trend to the upside. But on this chart, it is also possible to count this as a double 1-2-1-2 setup. Now, this would be a more bullish interpretation and would allow for a much stronger push overall to the upside. But until we actually have some certain confirmations that some support levels actually hold, the structure forms as a 5-wave move to the upside in this supposed third wave. Well, until that is confirmed, we do not know which of these interpretations it is, but we can continue to track this idea of a double 1-2 setup in the sense that this interpretation will get invalidated first anyway. So in the 1-2-1-2 setup interpretation, we are tracking an impulse to the upside. And in that case, I would expect this third wave to form a 5-wave move, something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the case of an ABC pattern here in a wave 1, I would also expect this third wave to the upside to form only an ABC pattern that would end much earlier in principle than the impulse in the third wave to the upside. And with that said, we can continue tracking this chart by focusing mostly on this area until we form a very significant top and we clearly fail to hold the support that we would get here once we build, let's say, a 1, 2, 3. We are looking for a wave 4 and we fail to hold the support, we push much lower, and then we may manage to eventually push back higher, but if the support fails, we would instead be probably focusing on the interpretation that it is a diagonal pattern. Now, that is just for context, maybe a little bit of understanding of the principles in Elliot wave, but to get here in this area, I could track this as a leading diagonal to the upside in an ABC pattern as well, but that would mean that we would overall be tracking another wave 1 instead of the third wave to the upside. So for now, we can in fact track it as a series of 1-2 setups, multiple ways to count this, but the idea is we have a series of 1-2, 1-2, something like this, and then we have here the area of most interest, in my opinion, this area, where we either, if this is a wave C or a third wave to the upside, we are looking for a 5-wave move in this case. Now in that idea, we are tracking here a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and then this would be the third wave up that is developing. And let's use together the RSI to prepare a count for this movement to the upside. So I would say that this is a wave 1, then this is a wave 2. I think we are still within the third wave, and we can use the RSI to actually determine whether this third wave topped or where exactly we really are within it. And I can see that the top of the movement of the area is right here. We can look on the daily for this. After that, we continue to push higher on the price chart, but we form lower highs on the RSI. So that is a divergence. And that continues to happen, and we push higher and higher, and we still aren't making really new highs. Well, this first lower high on the RSI is really telling me that this is probably the first fifth wave within this larger third wave. So here we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that formed within a third wave. And then I would say that, okay, then that means this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, this is a third wave up, fourth wave down, and now this would be the fifth wave that is developing to the upside. Keep in mind, this is all within this third wave that we are tracking. And then we can add even a count in that idea that would say this is wave 1 up, wave 2 down, third wave up, fourth down, fifth up here. And it seems that the fifth wave is still unfolding. Remember, we are looking in this case for a 5-wave move within this fifth wave. So I would also be expecting the RSI to show that. So far, and yeah, so far, after this wave 4 bottom, we had a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a third wave up, possibly complete. It could still push higher, but this is the top of the RSI on the 4-hour. It is also on the 1-hour chart, and we are looking most likely for a correction here in a wave 4 that would be similar in length, or at least either stronger or similar in length, or that takes even longer in a more sideways correction within a wave 4 to match this wave 2. So within this fifth wave to the upside, I would still be looking for a wave 4 and the fifth wave to actually complete this larger movement that is developing. And in that case, again, this third wave to the upside, I'm not certain it is complete, but the time frame is too low, I would say, to keep track of it very closely. And instead, I would be looking directly for this fourth wave. Now, keep in mind, if this third wave pushes higher, we would need to readjust the support zone for a fourth wave. And that support zone for now, based on the current third wave top, is between the $1.86, yeah, this is Canadian dollars, I believe, down to the $1.6 level at a 50% retracement. And I would expect from this area to find support and push higher in the fifth wave. Now, one last warning here. This is, however, the fifth wave of a fifth wave of the third wave, which is fine, but sometimes those last legs, sometimes they don't show up, and there is a higher probability that it fails. It is not as it would be in case we were in the third wave, where we had 1, 2, 3 up, we had a 5-wave move in the wave 1, and then yeah, we have a pretty high probability of forming a pretty healthy fifth wave to the upside. It's not quite the same. That is even worse if this happened in the fifth wave, for example, where I would have, yeah, let's say this is a fourth, and now within the fifth wave we get a wave 1 up, wave 2 down, third wave up, and then a fourth down. We might not get this last movement, this last push to the upside. It is even harder in the fifth wave, but sometimes I have to say it does happen even within third waves, although a lot less likely. And I would personally expect to find support in this area and still form a new high within this third wave. And with that said, we do also see that the correction seems to have already started in this area. Pretty strong and sharp movement to the downside already. And based on the idea that we are still in the wave 4 and this correction has actually started, we are not pushing higher in this third wave, I would be looking for an ABC pattern most likely to develop. And then I would be looking for a target for a wave C at the 100% extension of the wave A at $1.80. Now, wave 4s could be developing as triangles, so yeah, this doesn't need necessarily to form a C wave to the downside to complete the correction. It could develop in a sideways pattern and yeah, complete the correction in that fashion. But for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.